Another oceanfront video. I think I'm gonna make this a thing, because it's actually very relaxing, very soothing, and just like the ocean currents, it's like my thoughts flow a lot better, like a stream, right? It's the reason why they call it streaming. It just flows. It's continuous. There's no end to it. It's infinite. Well, of course, eventually I'm gonna have to stop the video, right? But the ideas flow beautifully. And speaking of ideas, um, you don't have to worry about anything that causes anxiety, worry, concern about your ideas being used, misused, misunderstood, exploited, what have you. They are going to be dealt with spiritually for taking what you've created and then basically misusing it. You know what I mean? So one of the biggest concerns for a lot of creative people and spiritually gifted people is when they put their energy out there, for to create a positive impact. You have the right intentions for what you do, but you'll have people that they will misuse it, abuse it, or they will basically it's like they'll it's like they basically are robbing from you, but yet they despise you at the same time. And you're gonna find that people who look, let me explain. It's a difference taking, like, having inspiration. Like, if someone's inspiring you, or maybe there's something that you heard or listened to and it kind of sparked, so it sparked something in you to kind of like, you know what, I know exactly what this is about. I'm gonna share my thoughts on that. It's like sometimes we spark each other, iron sharpens iron, and it's a beautiful thing. Like, that's amazing. That's Inspiration is a beautiful thing. And there's that reciprocity, you know what I mean? And you can tell when the intentions are pure and genuine. You can feel the energy, but you can also tell when a person has malicious intent, when a person wants to misunderstand you on purpose, or trying to make you look bad, trying to humiliate you, trying to twist your words around. See, that's the type of shit that narcissists do. They always twist your words around, for no reason. And so the reason why they do that, my theory is that they really just want to discredit you, because in a way, a lot of the stuff that you're talking about or that you're saying is actually waking people up. So that's a sign that you carry a lot of, like, you have medicinal words, and you have a powerful voice. And there's people that are narcissists that may not be aware that they are, or maybe sometimes your content can unmask them and it makes them extremely upset, and you may not, like I said, this is crazy, because sometimes you may know these people, but you may not even know them. But it's the fact that when you make these videos about narcissism and stuff, and really, sharing your testimony, your story and stuff like that, it's almost like in their mind, they feel like you're talking about them, but you're not talking about them directly. It just so happens that a lot of the traits of narcissists and the cycle of narcissistic abuse, it's very similar. Like, they're not that different, It's like they're following the same playbook. And that's not your fault. That's not our fault. It's just, they have been doing people wrong for the longest. And now what they're going to do is try to project that onto others, especially the one that is the biggest threat. If you are speaking truth, in whatever form that comes, there's so many different subjects, but in relation to, like, abuse recovery, healing from trauma, and narcissistic abuse overall, you're going to find that there's people that, there's not just people it could be, it's like energy, you know, it's a type of dark energy that's going to attack you. So even if it's not online or physical, you're going to encounter spiritual attacks in your sleep. And I know because I've been going through that on and off, but I'm good. I know how to ground myself, you know, and you know, just like for the past few days, you know, when I shared that last video about dream manipulation, like I already know what they're trying to do. And trust me, there's going to be more videos about that. So you just sit tight. There's going to be more coming. There's going to be some good stuff for you survivors out there. But I really love just looking at this ocean, like talking, right? Just talking and admiring the scenery, you know. And this is the thing, man, you don't have to pay a lot of money to be in a beautiful place. If you live by the coast, I mean, it's pretty easy, right? And that's the reason why I love, you know, being here, at least for now. Even though I'm in the divided states, I'm very thankful that I'm by the coast, the Atlantic Ocean right in front of me, just like that, just like you see right now. You have nothing to worry about in regards to you know, sharing your stories, your testimonies. And by the way, I really appreciate every single person that's comfortable enough with sharing their own testimonies in the comments, because I do read the comments, you know. So if you have your own personal experiences that, you know, I know that it's intense and it's not an easy thing to talk about for a lot of people. So the fact that you know, you have the courage to just, you know, speak about it, especially with a like-minded person, another person that can understand and actually empathize. I want to extend healing energy and blessings to every single survivor, every single person that has dealt with a lot of painful, traumatic experiences, because it's not easy, especially to remain a good person, to remain having a clean heart. That is amazing. So, you know, do not allow Diablo to try to lie to you and tell you that you're not a good person when you know that you are, especially when you have that sense of remorse. And every time you make a mistake, you feel remorse. Sometimes you feel remorse for things you didn't even do. Now, that is how you know that you have a lot of empathy. The problem is that they've been weaponizing your empathy. They've been using it against you, right? And that's something that we need to be mindful of, because that is how a lot of people, that's how they abuse our empathy, by making us carry weight that's not supposed to be ours, you know. So that's the thing. But yeah, I want to thank every single person that genuinely supports the channel, likes, leaves a you know, beautiful comments, empowering comments, you know, share, subscribe, all that. You know, and I don't tell people to, you know, share and like and all that, but if you like the video, I appreciate that, you know, and you share your thoughts and stuff like that, you know, that lets me know that, you know, I have successfully created a space that is empowering, and also a space that I guess it has that feeling of an oasis, to where you actually feel comfortable sharing stuff like that. You know, no, you're not obligated to do that, but if you want to share that, that's another form of taking your power back. And that's how it is with me. Like when I share some of my experiences, you know, on here, I try not to go in detail, obviously, because, you know, YouTube, right, it shadow bans certain stuff, and you can't really, and it's a lot, honestly, and I don't want to go into a lot of detail because it's some crazy stuff, you know. But you know, it takes a lot of courage to just even talk about, you know, the topic itself. And so I tried to frame these videos in a way that is like more motivational kind of thing, and spiritual empowerment, focusing on trauma healing and grounding. And that's basically what this is, you know. So I'm not concerned about, you know, the spiritual attacks, you know, the PTSD dreams, you know, all the weird stuff that happens. Because here's the thing, and I'm going to speak this, right? I'm going to speak this, speaking empowerment into existence, you know, and, you know, praying to the Most High for the divine protection and power. And also, on top of, it is up to me to make sure that I'm on point, to make sure that I align with the ways, of the Most High. Because that's another thing too, that, we have to hold ourselves accountable, and that, I myself also have to do that, because you could pray to God for this and that, but you have to make sure your temple, you keep that temple as clean as possible, and we're not going to be 100% perfect, especially with the attacks, but, and also with the traumas that, it pulls us down, it tries to pull us down back into that dark place, but they're not going to succeed, because we're not going to allow that to happen. So through our willpower and undying determination, we're going to remain who we are, right? And that's what I am saying, and that's what I stand for, regardless of what other people say, because people have a lot to say. The weirdest thing is that people, whether it's offline or online, especially online, but it can happen in any setting, right? People, they act like they know you, and they don't. They really don't know you. So, like I said, there's no need to worry about what people say about you, the smearing, because that's all it is. And like I said, when people start smearing your name, that says a lot about them, but they're trying to make it seem like it's about you. And if they make it like it's about you being a bad person, then obviously who's really the bad person here? Because why would anybody who is so-called good try to make another person look like they're bad when they don't even know that person? The only thing they know is that this person carries an energy that's very powerful, and it tends to intimidate a lot of people that are used to being in control over others. You see, you have people, especially narcissistic individuals, they like to have power over people. They like to have control over the minds of many. And when they see an enlightened and awakened soul, they don't like that very much. And so whether consciously or unconsciously, they're going to attack that person, and you could tell if you see an innocent person who is spiritually gifted being attacked by someone, it tells you a lot, and it is extremely dangerous to go against an anointed person or a spiritually gifted person, a chosen one, a person that overcame a lot of things that was supposed to unalive them. That's basically what I'm saying. So trust me, life has given me multiple chances to see, what it really looks like to overcome all these attacks. It gets to a point where they can't hurt you anymore, because they've already did. They already hurt you so many times. And the fact that you can still have a smile on your face after all of that fuck shit they put you through, guess what? They're gonna hate you. They're gonna still hate you, because they hate the fact that you overcame these things, and they no longer have power and control over you. And they can't, because they cannot control the way you feel about yourself. They can't control your emotional and mental state of being. And that's basically what you're seeing, is that, and there's a lot of nutty people like that, especially in the divided states. But who knows how it is in other countries. But from what I'm seeing, this sickness of narcissism is like, it runs rampant, especially in the divided states, because that's where they're being produced. Those type of mindsets are being produced here a lot. Yeah. So there's no need to worry, when it comes to, the evil eye and mal ojo. Honestly, man, you know what's gonna happen to those who have a mal ojo for no reason toward an innocent person that is spiritually gifted, awakened. They've done the healing work, shadow work, what have you, everything, right? Damn near. A person that is in the process of evolving, and they will never stop. A person like that, anybody that has the evil eye against that person, man, their eyes are going to burn, right? Their eyes are going to burn because their hatred against someone like that, their hatred against a chosen one, is going to curse them. And I'm not just talking about just dislike. I'm talking hatred. Hatred is a very strong word. It carries a lot of weight. Hatred, that's why people say that hate is a strong word, because it implies that you want that person to be gone. Hate implies that you want that person to be unalived. That's basically what that means. That's why it's a strong word, and you don't want to just throw it out there like that, But yeah, that right there, the act of someone having an evil eye, having hatred, having that desire for somebody that is, carries a divine light inside, an innocent person, not just innocent, but an empowered individual, really connected to the Most High. Anybody that has hatred towards someone like that, their eyes are gonna burn. Yep. Because there's bad karma, man. This is why I say you just have to sit back, relax, and just focus on you. And some people don't want to do that. They think it's too easy. No, it's actually not easy, because if it was easy, why aren't you doing it? You're so fixated on getting revenge, getting back at this person. That's dead. Some of us, we've already moved past that. Now, have I ever felt like doing that? Of course. Once upon a time when I was younger, yes, I did. But there was always something that prevented me. Something kind of stopped me and forced me to think about some stuff, because you never want to move impulsively. That's how you destroy your life. And no one is worth you destroying your own life, because essentially that's really what they want you to do. Sometimes people irritate you when they do things because they expect that reaction out of you, because that type of reaction they know is going to cause you to destroy your own life. It's going to cause you to lose your own freedom. Now, do we want that? No, we don't want that. So that is how I avoided going that route. So in reality, all you have to do, you sit back just like I am right now, and you just focus on yourself. You build yourself up, and you basically build up that spiritual armor. And that comes in, you already know everything that encompasses spiritual growth, evolving, increasing your vibration, just elevating, having that direct relationship with God. That's really important, And I know people say that all the time. It sounds cliche, it sounds played out, but no, seriously, it's important. It's important. Because energetically, anyone who goes against you while you align with the Most High, then, it's not going to end well with them. You see, it's hard, like I said, it's kind of hard for them to, if you are operating on the same energy and frequency as those who have the evil eye, right? Then you guys are just going to go at it. You guys are just going to be at you're basically at a low level fighting each other for no reason. And there's nothing to be gained out of it. You're just going to be stuck and stagnated. And if anything, if they know how to manipulate things to go their way, then you're going to be the one that's actually going to be below them, because they're going to make you lose yourself. They're going to make you lose your mind, to where now you're going to react to the fuck shit that they're doing. And now you're going to be the one losing your freedom. And that's what they do. And that's what a lot of these abusive people do. It's reactive abuse. They poke you just enough to get a reaction out of you that they know is going to make you want to really really mess them up. Yeah, they know that you want to fuck them up, basically. And that's the purpose. So that way you lose everything, because they know that you have a lot already. They already know you have a lot. A lot of times people that provoke you is because they know what you have before you do. They know you have way more than them. Spiritually, mentally, intellectually, all that stuff. Stuff that you don't see, but it's very valuable. Stuff that you can use to basically elevate, not only spiritually but even financially too. You could turn that into blessings, right? Using your skills, gifts, and everything to change your situation in the right way, right? But no, they want to deter your focus from that. They want to basically deter your focus from your purpose, so that you go down to that low level and actually be beneath them. Because once you lose everything, and once they put you in a position where they want you to be, then, I mean, they pretty much win. Now they don't have to worry about you shining too bright. You're not supposed to shine, especially not in front of them, right? That's why you have to cut off certain people. Read the energy before you even think about getting close to anyone, because a lot of people really despise you, and a lot of times you might internalize that rejection. You might think, oh, there's something wrong with me, and sometimes it's not even that. Now we can hold ourselves accountable and say, maybe I did do something wrong, but a lot of times, if you're like a person that has good intentions and you have a good heart, a lot of times you didn't even do anything to this person, and you don't need to do anything to a person for them to hate you. They're gonna hate you regardless. Why? Because a lot of times it's just jealousy, and they see something that they don't have, and they want to make sure that they snatch that out of you. And that's what that is. So, you don't need to be concerned with Imaloho, the evil eye, because any negative energy directed at an evolved, awakened soul of a person that has aligned with God and is respecting divine order, I mean, a person that goes against that, it's gonna get real ugly for them. So a lot of times the enemy will try to put anxiety in you. He'll force his sense of concern. Like, he'll force that, but it's like, you don't have nothing to worry about. And I tell myself that I'm not concerned. Those who have good intentions that are genuine, the Most High knows who's real. So that's all you need to know, is that you don't have to sit here and try to figure out every single thing, right? It may seem like some people might think, oh man, I'm just this mastermind and I just know everything. Now, you can know a lot of things, but essentially we're still human, right? It's just that we've grown so much that it seems almost like it's impossible to reach to that level. But see, that's the power of healing. The power of healing is that you are overcoming massive amounts of dark energy that they try to place on you. And that's a lot of weight to carry. It's a lot that we have. And guess what? What do you think is going to happen when you overcome all the things that was meant to destroy you? Then obviously, is only going to make you a lot more powerful. And that's really the only option we have. We can't go back in time and change and prevent things from happening, because the whole purpose is we just use it to make us more powerful, and to empower and enlighten others that have been through the same. Because there's no better way. There's no better way to handle that kind of energy than to just evolve. Now, I want to thank you so much for listening. Take care, and until next time.